We're live.
Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning in to Mike on Mondays. We're going to be getting tonight's live into YouTube. Last week we had a little bit of issue with the audio, but we're working out the kinks. So thanks for tuning in last week, and let's get into some of the questions. So someone asked, how much money did you start with for people who want to start without resources? So we, the first year, we probably started with about $300, to be honest. We were using a fulfillment company. So a little background on me. This is my first business, right? This isn't the first clothing company in particular that I started. When I was 19, I started a clothing brand, and I learned a lot of lessons. One of the lessons was you don't want to carry so much inventory when you're just starting out with a new idea, with a new concept, because you don't know if it's going to sell or not. So with the first business, I got 100 t-shirts of 3 different designs. So 100 t-shirts, 100 t-shirts per design. So 300 t-shirts, sweatshirts, just trying to put my best foot forward and trying to kind of be like this big brand before I was really there. And I quickly realized that you need to test out your concepts and your ideas before you go out and start buying inventory. So I still have some of those t-shirts downstairs actually, because they never sold. So when I was starting the Bronx brand, I didn't want to fall into that same kind of trap. So we used a fulfillment company when we first started out, so we didn't have to carry inventory. Now, what we were doing was we had Shopify, and we were using Shopify, and we still use Shopify as our platform for us to sell on. And we're doing a little bit of Instagram and Facebook, not ads just yet, but yeah, I would say that first 6 months or so before we actually started getting any sales, it was about $300. Because I would also buy samples of the items in order to have them to either give away to people or something like that. So it doesn't take a lot to get into apparel, which is why there's so many companies that do it, and it's usually the go-to method for creators when they're trying to monetize their idea. But yeah, I think that's the
What was the name of your first company / brand?
Okay, so it's called Don't Feed the Animals, and the whole concept with that was that our human nature is the animal within us. It's the part of us that doesn't show compassion. It's the part of us that's greedy. It's the part of us that doesn't care for others. So the concept was that by not feeding that animal mentality within yourself, the world would be a better place. The issue with that is that every single time I would say the name, people didn't catch that. You know, it's a very hard concept. You have to explain every single time, which is why it didn't really do as well as I had hoped. But yeah, so that was the name, Don't Feed Animals. Okay.
No.
Sorry. Next question. What is your favorite restaurant in the Bronx? So right now, I would say it's the Kitchen. We live out in Woodlawn right now, so we absolutely love the Kitchen. But growing up, we would go to Sabasuda out in Castle Hill. What other restaurants? I really like diners, to be honest. Like Crosstown Diner. Diner food, I feel like a big part of my childhood and everything. So I really like diners. To be honest with you, like I'm very simple. Like I would go anywhere, even if it's a somewhat fancy place. I'd order a burger. So yeah, I feel like I can order a burger for anything. Can you talk about the magazine? Okay, so right now we have an online magazine, the Pdx Magazine.com, and we've been paying writers to submit articles. So right now it's $15 per article, and we're working towards getting a audio version of it, where if you submit an audio file of the written content, you'll get another $10 for the audio file. just to kind of bolster the stories that we have in the Bronx, to give people a platform to share their stories, and also to kind of build up our own kind of like media side of this, so that as we grow and as we continue to help and support artists, we can both point them to our platform, help shoot them links, and help them, you know, grow what they're doing with the attention that we have, and also helping to just support artists and support people in the Bronx. I think that there's not a lot of options for people who are who communicate better through written form. So the magazine is kind of our way of helping with that. We do aim to create a print version of that magazine. So hopefully soon we'll be able to do that, because that kind of, you know, in people's minds legitimizes it a little bit, even though I feel like everything is going digital. Okay. So what's your next project? I'd say the print magazine of the online version is going to be our next big project. I have something that I want to share, but like to share until things are like ready. But we're definitely trying to get into more collectible type of items. So yeah, hopefully within the next month or so, I'll be able to kind of share that.
Gotcha. And we have some questions coming in before you go back to those.
Yeah.
So, would you ever make a print version of the magazine?
Yeah, that's kind of the next big project, print version of the magazine. Just because, you know, I want people to be able to like have this on a coffee table, and for the writers to also be able to have that, and potentially even if they're able to sell it, they can also make some money on it as well on that period.
Another question coming in from Per Palo. How do you embrace the talents the Bronx bred you to have?
Okay. How do I embrace the talents? I think one of the big talents, for me in particular, but I see it in everybody in the Bronx, is like you kind of just figure it out. Like whatever it is that you want to do, like pretty much you do it yourself. We all know what it is to not have like either resources or support. So you kind of figure things out and you do it yourself. So for me, that's like the basis of everything that we're doing. Like whatever it is, we're trying to figure out what the next step is, how we can get it done, how we can get it done cheaper, but with, you know, maintain the same quality that we expect of ourselves and what we want to produce. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that the Bronx taught me was like resilience, perseverance, like, and figure it out and do it yourself.
Another question from Slept On Me. Is it ever too late to start a shirt brand to begin with?
No, I don't think it's ever too late. I think it just depends more so on the concept and who you're trying to reach. Because what's that? Oh, it's my dog. He's scratching himself. Jackson. So I'd say it's never too late. It just matters what your concept is and who you're trying to reach. Because you could have this incredible concept and you bring it to market. So basically, you produce a T-shirt and you bring it to people, and they don't care. They don't like it. Again, that's something that I learned with my first brand. So the biggest thing is whatever your concept is, whoever you're trying to reach, make sure you reach them first. Make sure you communicate it as effectively as you can. And really the best thing is to reach your community, like reach the people who are more or less like you. Because I think a lot of times people are try to start brands or on concepts of, oh, people are going to like this either because I like this or because this seems like a trend. I think that's not the best way to do it. I think it's more effective if you're trying to reach a community that you're already a part of, that you already have ties with, and then you're creating something that speaks to not just you, but also the community that you are embracing. Okay, so So what inspired you to start the Bronx Band? I think this is a great segue. So for us, we truly believe that the Bronx is the mecca of culture. When you look at hip hop, being this global phenomenon that's now affected everything in our lives. 5 years ago, you didn't hear people talk slang on TV, and now it's like very common. And also it's from hip hop. All the music right now, and all the fashion, streetwear, high-end labels are looking to streetwear for ideas and concepts, and this is all from hip hop. So you look at also people like Ralph Lauren, Swiss Beats, Soy Sotomayor, Al Pacino, Big Pun. You look at Calvin Klein, Kerry Washington. There's so many people who have grown up in the Bronx, different time periods. They've all affected culture in different industries. Like, those people aren't just like Joe Schmoes. Those are people that have done great things in whatever field they're in. So I don't see that as a coincidence. Me and my wife don't see that as a coincidence. We feel like the Bronx is really shaping and creating the future. Well, has already shaped and created tastemakers and culture creators, and I feel like that's going to continue to happen as long as the Bronx continues to stay the Bronx. And this is happening when we didn't have a lot of resources or a lot of engagement. So I think now there's a lot of attention and focus on the Bronx, which is both a good and bad thing, because on one end it does bring resources, but then on the other end it can potentially cause displacement through gentrification. But anyway, the whole concept was that in building the Bronx brand, we want this to be a platform for Bronx creators to thrive, and we want to be able to kind of propel these creatives to become those names. Like, I really do feel like the people who are on our platform, and I feel like the people that that we're kind of trying to get in touch with, and right now what's happening in the Bronx is a lot of movements that, there's a lot of movements that have already been going on, and there's not movements within the past 5, 6, 7 years that are getting a lot of traction now, especially. So yeah, I feel like these people are going to be those the Calvin Kleins and the Al Pacinos of the future. So that's kind of like what inspired us to start the Bronx Brand, is to create a platform for Bronx creators to thrive. So what's some advice for a creative individual who lost their way? So I say, remember why you started. I think that I don't know where you are as far as how you feel or how lost you feel with your creativity. So I think what happens with creatives is, as you create things and you put yourself out there, because whatever you create is going to be some piece of you that you're sharing with the world. One of the things that can happen is you can look at your work as validating, right? So when that happens is what you create and you put out into the world, and when people don't respond the way that you want them to respond, you feel like that. You okay? Okay. You feel like the lack of reinforcement of what you create is disheartening, because that's a piece of you that people didn't respond to positively, and you have to want to create things with quality and with a sense of pride, but you don't want that work to be an indicator of who you are. Like, your work doesn't validate you. You are valid because you exist, not because of what you create. So at the same time, you want to produce things that are worth producing. So that's the kind of tension. I think also, as creatives start to monetize with their work, there's a struggle, a little tension. You don't want to create things just to monetize it, but you do want for some people, you do want your work to be able to sustain you. So I think that when you don't see the money coming from that, that can be disheartening. But I think the biggest thing is to just remember like why you created in the first place. Like you create because you're creative. You create because you want to. You create because it's who you are. But don't anything outside of just creating, like don't give into like the lie that that's what makes you validated in this world. So just remember why you started in the first place.
Let's take some questions that are being submitted right now. Were you born and raised in the Bronx?
So I was technically born in Manhattan. I was born in Lenox Hill Hospital. But when my mom brought me home, she brought me to the Bronx. So I was probably
A few days old.
a few days old in Manhattan technically. So my birth certificate does not say the Bronx, which kind of sucks. But I lived my whole life in the Bronx. I'm from Morris Park, Van Ness area. We moved around a lot when I was younger. So yeah, I just call Morris Park, Van Ness like home.
Okay. And another question, how do you feel when you see your brand on People and those on TV?
Oh man, it's encouraging. I'd say it's dope. It's dope to be able to like see your work out there, to see people enjoy what you've created. Yeah, it's dope. I don't ever want to get too high in your own supply, right? Like same thing, like having people wear my stuff doesn't validate me or the brand or anything, but it's super encouraging and I appreciate it, of course, because you could have literally worn anything else, but you chose to wear it, and then on top of that, be able to wear it on TV. Shout out to David Samero. Tune in, Showtime, 11 p.m. They don't pay anything for that, but I just love them. So it's just like it's really dope, especially because a lot of the artists and a lot of the people who we partner with and work with are people who I love. Like there's things that I enjoy. So then it's kind of like I appreciate your work, and then you appreciate my work enough to wear it and to support. So I truly appreciate it. It's super encouraging.
Okay.
Yeah. Will you continue to support local music artists? Of course. That's definitely at the heart of what we do. We definitely want to continue to support music artists. We supported artists like Josh WH out in Gun Hill. Denzel Porter just had a concert with a whole bunch of uptown artists at our shop on 37 Bruckner Boulevard. On Saturday, we're gonna host another artist from the Bronx. So that's one of the many reasons why Pdx all day. You already know. That's one of the reasons why we got this space. I think now that we have an actual brick and mortar location, being able to hold events for music artists is definitely a big thing that we want to do. And if you're an artist and you want to have an event at the space, please hit us up. DM us, email us at info@thebronxbrand.com. Any questions from the... yeah.
None right now.
Yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of things kind of planned. This Saturday, the 26th, we have an event at the Bronx Museum. We're going to be part of the Taste of the Bronx event. Taste of the Bronx is a partnership between Sustainable Snacks and from the Bronx Beer Hall. So I'm really excited because I consider from the Bronx like the OGs. They're one of the first, not the first, but one of the people that have been creating Bronx apparel before us. So definitely being able to do their Taste of the Bronx event is dope. It's dope for us.
We have a question coming in from the Dev SYN. Who are some artists that you really enjoy listening to?
That I really enjoy listening to. So Bronx artists. Let's keep it specific. So with Bronx artists,
Said be honest, you like.
Okay, yeah, I like Drake. My favorite artist of all is Lupe Fiasco, but if we're gonna keep it Bronx artists, I have a playlist right now where I have people like Josh, DWH, Denzel Porter, Connie Diamond, J Tips, I'm Max Leon, of course, A Boogie, Don Q, Chris Rivers, of course, Swerve Mitch is on there. Who else? Win. I just started listening to Win. I like his stuff. He's up and coming. Rio Azul. That's my guy. He was part of the first music events that we had at the shop. So yeah, like those are some of the artists that right now that I'm definitely listening to from the Bronx. Please go check them out, support them. Go stream the music, buy the music. If they have events, buy tickets. Like that's one of the easiest ways to show support. Like being in the room present, going up to them, telling them how your music affected them. That's really important for these artists. So please go support them.
Another question: any upcoming graffiti events?
Ooh, right now no, but I'm definitely going to. I'm talking with Crash to see because he's an OG. And if we're gonna do a graffiti event, it only makes sense to do it with him. I'm gonna talk to my sis Caleb as well. I consider her one of my OGs. So yeah, so hopefully we can get something done. I think that'd be super dope to do that.
Is your dog a Pitbull?
No, a lot of people think he's a pit, but he's a Shar-Pei. He's a Chinese Shar-Pei. He's like a wrinkly dog, but he's not that wrinkly anymore. But no, he's not a pit. But whenever I walk in, people always ask if he's a pit. He kind of I feel like every dog in the Bronx is like some part pit. So, yeah, maybe he's like a 10th pit.
Yeah. Other questions we were receiving on another end. Are you hiring at the store, or how does that work at the store?
So right now, we're not hiring at the store. We're a new brand. We're a new company. We have an artist that does work there Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Sundays, and then me and my wife, we work there Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. But right now, we're trying to get like our feet settled. Before we can hire, we got to make sure that the store can kind of sustain itself before we can go out and hire people. But it's definitely something that I am interested in. I don't take that lightly. I think that being able, like having people kind of depend on you is it's a lot of responsibility. So right now, no, it's just not yet. We're still trying to grow this thing and still trying to build so that we can, when we're paying people, we're doing right by them as well.
What holiday or fall specials will we be having for like Black Friday, Small Business Saturday?
So all of our discount codes are going to be on our app. I think for Black Friday we may do a 30% off code and maybe have like a little bundle that's only going to be on the app. We may do it online just for that weekend, but right now we're putting just our discount codes on the app because we want to make sure that we're giving those discounts out to people that really support the brand and stuff. And we want to build our app so that as we continue to grow it, we can do a little bit more features with it and stuff like that. But yeah, we're definitely going to have specials, and if you want to see them, definitely download our app and also sign up for our newsletter because we're going to be giving those discount codes out in our newsletter as well.
And another question we received in DMs, can you talk about the brand ambassadorship or being a brand ambassador?
Yeah, definitely. So the brand ambassador, if you sign up to be a brand ambassador, basically you're going to get a unique link, your referral code. And I would highly suggest, if you don't have a link on your profile already, link in bio, add this to your link in bio. We're going to give you 10% commission on every sale that is made through your referral link. And once you hit 10 sales, you'll be able to get 15%. And every single time that, like for one sale, right, if you make one sale through your referral link, you'll be able to get a pin. You know, at 5, you'll be able to get a hat. At 10, you'll be able to get a shirt, a t-shirt. So we're trying to make this something where if you've already supported the brand, or if you'd like to support the brand, definitely sign up. If you have Bronx Brand Apparel already, put it on, show people, or tell them to buy through your link, and you'll be able to get 10% commission. Then it goes up to 15% after you hit a certain threshold. And yeah, we're trying to do that to be able to offer people that, hey, maybe you're not an artist, maybe you're not creative in that sense, but you do have a following, or you're trying to build something, or you just want to support and you want to be able to, earn some money that way. That's definitely something that we're trying to build, and we're definitely gonna do more of a push on that, because I feel like we've had it for a little while, but we haven't really pushed it enough. But yeah, if you want to be a brand ambassador, please sign up. Very easy. Once you sign up, you'll be able to get that link.
Can you talk about we just had a question. Oh, well, thank you so much from Democrat87. I do every day. I'm always showing off my BX leggings. I love them. You guys are awesome.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And now if people buy it through your link, you get 10% commission.
Yep. Another question came in. Can you talk about what's behind you, the artwork?
Oh, okay. So this is the Bronx breakfast piece. I got this from Annie Linguini. So I feel like Annie is definitely going to be a huge artist, and I really appreciate her work. She does this mixed media piece, which is materials that you find anywhere. Like this is tissue paper. These are pipe cleaners. It's Arizona and a big egg and cheese in the plastic bag they give you from the bodega. So I love this piece. When Annie before Annie even mentioned that she was gonna sell it, I had hit her up like, hey, when you decide to, if you ever decide to sell it, please let me know first. And when the opportunity came, I had to jump on it. So yeah, this is Annie McBeanie. She's got a Bronx Faces. She got the Bronx Faces project that she's doing, where she's getting portraits of people and doing them through mixed media. She's incredibly talented. So definitely check out Bronx Faces. Definitely check out Annie's art. Now she's a
artist in residency.
Artist in residence with Pdx Factory, and Pdx Factory is a phenomenal nonprofit that's been supporting artists in the Bronx for a long time. So definitely support them as well.
What do you do in your spare time?
I don't have a lot of spare time. In my spare time, I used for a little while. I would play a lot of mobile games. I had to delete them because it was taking too much time. But I watch TV. I watch Netflix. I like watching documentaries. Honestly, like I'm very boring. Like I don't like to watch the same things twice. So I don't like watch movies repeatedly. But if it's like a new idea or a new concept on a documentary, I'm definitely watching that. So that's mostly what I do.
Cool. So if there's any other questions, please submit them. We have a few more minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't think of what else do I do in my spare time. I used to play basketball, but now I'm lazy, so I don't play basketball anymore. But that was like 10 years ago. But yeah, I think now between the brand, between the store, between the baby, my wife, and just trying to think of new ideas and new concepts. I don't have too much time, but I said this last week, and I think it's like one of the kind of like the life gems that I've learned is like, one, if you ask for something and then you get it, you can't be upset when you get it. So, when I was younger, like I was hoping that I could build something or create something or like do something that that I would enjoy, and the work that comes with it, you can't be upset about that. So I kind of asked for this kind of life, and I appreciate every minute of it. I appreciate the support that everybody's giving the brand and what we're creating. So yeah, I don't have too much free time. Whatever free time I do have is more so like watching Netflix, and sometimes I try to go to like events in the Bronx, but other than that, like, it's just work.
Another question came in. I know you guys aren't hiring yet, but would you accept volunteers for any events?
Yes, definitely. That would be super helpful. So if you are interested in volunteering at an event, yeah, hit us up, DM us, email us at info@thebronxpen.com. And we'll, if you volunteer, like we're not just gonna send you on your way. Like you're probably gonna get some gear out of it. So yeah, I do appreciate that, and we'll keep you in mind for when we are able to hire. We are always open to collaborations. So if you, somebody did ask that about our collaborations. If you have an idea for collaborating, I'm definitely interested. So please email us at info@thebronxpen.com. And yeah, we'll get it started. Very, very easy. Like we're not like, oh, you gotta do this or you gotta have that. Like no, if you're from the Bronx and you want to collaborate, let's talk.
Dope. And guess we're just signing off. So remind all people.
Yeah. So this Saturday, at the Bronx Museum, we're gonna be part of the Taste of the Bronx. It's from 1 to 6 p.m. So please come out and support. If you wanna see all these different Bronx artists and Bronx creatives, please come out this Saturday. Next week, we're gonna be here, tuned in to Mike on Mondays at 8:30.